Try to think that love's not around. Still it's uncomfortably near. My old heart ain't gaining no ground because my angel eyes ain't here. Angel eyes, that old devil sent, they glow unbearably bright. Need I say that my love's been misspent on angel eyes tonight? So drink up, all you people. Order anything you see. Have fun, you happy people. The drink and the laughs on me. Pardon me, but I gotta run. The facts uncommonly clear. I gotta find who's now number one, and why my angel eyes ain't here. This is Alex Frank on the bass, everybody. Thank you. We meet it begins. The sound of violins, the song of birds high on the wing. You taught my heart to sing. Why does this heart of mine feel like a valentine? You smiled and suddenly it's spring. You taught my heart to sing. My heart was an empty shell. Then you came along. Now my heart's a carousel filled with song. Oh, the miracle of you will last my whole life through. You're all I'll keep remembering, because you taught my heart to sing. The miracle of you will last my whole life through. You're all I'll keep remembering. You taught my heart to sing.
What's up?
Hey, everybody. Hey, Tony, man, your birthday's over, dude. It's time to get back to work.
No, my birthdays last the whole year, buddy.
I know. Well,
I
it was a
expect
great
love,
one.
love, appreciation, and gifts all year long.
There you go, man. And I'll continue doing that myself. Hey, listen, you just the video coming up to this, we had Thursday sold out show with Tawanda, Josh Nelson, Alex Frank, and Gene COYE. And he was great, man.
Yeah,
Lori Bell,
I wasn't able to be there, but I watched some of it and it was fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, Lori Bell sat in on flute. She's from San Diego, great. And Gianna PEDRAGON, that very young jazz violinist, sat in too. It was really, really cool, man. And we got an incredible show tonight with Natalie and our buddy Doug Webb coming up. But I want to let you know we're getting these things all the way down now in advance for our shows. It's getting really exciting at Campus JAX. Upcoming this Thursday night, live on stage in our socially distant bistro setting, wonderful setting. There's this guy named Tony Guerrero that's going to be here with his quintet featuring Leah Booth on vocals. You ready for that one, buddy?
Can't get enough of him.
I know.
And we'll see if Leah shows up this time.
She will. We're going to put the pressure. No, I already saw her sharing our post.
Yeah.
Anyway, tickets are available for that at campusjax.com and for all these shows. And by the way, they're set up for singles and couples or large parties, whatever you want to do. Just you can get your tickets in advance. We do have a limited amount of seating, so you do have to kind of stay get there early.
I'm going to say right now that I just checked a little bit ago, and the tickets were not yet available on the website. So hopefully tonight or first thing in the morning. So make a note of that, and please do come out on Thursday.
Yeah, because it will sell out. It's Tony Guerrero, Upcoming on the 8th next week, Chris Williams has his return to Steamers Jazz at Campus JAX. And then October 5th, I'm real excited about that. Tim Gill's going to be here with his group.
I know that's going to be great.
And and then a very, very special, another special, our second Friday night special feature on the 16th with Crystal Lewis. And
I can tell you, wait till you hear this band that Crystal's got with her. This piano player hasn't been to JAX yet, and wait till you hear him. He's fantastic.
What's his name?
Cliff Williams. It's a great story with how she even found him, and we'll talk about that another time, I guess. But yeah, he's a terrific musician. The whole band's great.
And then also we have an encore Steamers Jazz at JAX Afterglow on Sunday night, the 18th, with Paris Chanson returning by popular demand with their Gypsy Jazz Show. Those things sold out last time too, so make sure you can get those tickets in advance, campusjax.com. And I know we have our good buddy Doug Webb coming in first here, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to listen to a video of him. And,
first we need you to mention the tip jar because,
Yeah, I know. If we don't keep
Campus JAX needs a new pair of shoes.
You realize that tip jar will not only increase my camera obsession, we're going to take a portion of it and give it to Doug Webb because he doesn't have enough saxophones like I don't have enough cameras too. So that's what we're going to do. Go to steamersjax.com and donate to that to help us. It's all actually for the streaming here. We've been doing this, I think this is our 28th straight Sunday. 28th straight Sunday. We're doing this, and behind the scenes here, it's not just Tony and I blabbing into the webcam. We've got Tim Ellis and a lot of people doing the production and all the promo to get this going. And of course, these great musicians coming and joining us.
And speaking of which, I'm really excited to have Doug with us. He's one of my favorite musicians. He's going to be with us in a minute, but we're going to watch a little video first that features him on a song called Alexico.
Doug Webb was born in Chicago and moved to California at the age of 3. He received his Bachelor of Music from Boston's Berklee College of Music. He began playing clarinet at the age of 8 and added saxophone and flute at 15. He lives in Los Angeles with his wife Alex and his son Ryan. Over his career, Webb has played and recorded with such notable talents as Horace Silver, Freddie Hubbard, Sal Marquez, Stanley Clarke, Quincy Jones, Billy Childs, Rod Stewart, Carly Simon, Art Davis, Kenny Rogers, Bonnie Raitt, Poncho Sanchez, and Vicky Carr. He's played with the house band for the Dennis Miller TV show, the Jimmy Cleveland Orchestra, and continues to tour with the Doc Severinsen Band. He's recorded music for hundreds of movies and television programs. He solos on the soundtrack for Mystic River, $1 Million Baby, and Jersey Boys. Webb has been featured on hundreds of recordings. Steamers Jazz at Campus JAX is proud to present our friend, Doug Webb.
Right on, we're back. Look who's joined us.
Wow, I know, Doug Webb.
Hey, Doug Webb,
The
how are you?
infamous Doug Webb. How you doing, my friend?
Good. Terence, good to see you. Tony.
You look good.
I know.
You
Wow.
look healthy and happy and all that.
Yeah, just got back from Mexico.
Yeah.
You bought
Wow.
a place down there, right?
See, you couldn't see the.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
my wife and I have a place down in Loreto, which is between Cabo and Ensenada
Right on. Beautiful.
Yeah.
in Baja California.
Terence,
You didn't get a chance. You didn't get a chance to see that video that was the intro of this, Doug. But it went way back. It was 10 years ago at Steamers, and that was a trip. Just seeing it now because I didn't even know it was coming on there. Tony's in there, and you, and
it was
Eric, and
it was Joe Bagg, Eric Messerschmidt, and Matt Johnson. And I noticed.
Johnson. Yeah.
I watched a little bit of it as we were waiting to come back on, and I noticed that he faded out right before the trumpet solo. So.
Well, that
Well, there you
it's a
go.
good place. They all know how you play.
So I go, Terence, I go back a long ways with Doug. I like to tell the story about him because I'll say this, and to your face, Doug, he's one of my favorite musicians around, not only in town, but just there's never a time I'm not happy to be hearing Doug play. And I just am always thrilled that I even get to call him my friend. But I met him at Cafe Lido back in the day, which is this is about 1986, maybe 87.
I think you're about 15.
I was pretty young, and I wasn't. I know I wasn't allowed to be in there yet. So this would have been maybe actually 1985 that we met. You had just finished playing with Freddie Hubbard, and I I had come in and they invited me to sit in, and then they also invited you, which was about as polar opposite as we should have been. But I remember that they called they called Take the A Train, and at the time I only knew it in one key, and they called it in a different key. And you said you need to learn every song in all 12 keys.
I did,
and it scared the crap out of me. And although I can tell you that I've never had to play Take the A Train in any key but the one I know it in. So, just so you know, other than that one time. but
yeah,
what key was it in? I have no idea.
They called
E flat?
it. No, I can't remember now. I just remember it was. I think it was because the singer was going to be singing it, and so they wanted it in a different key. So, yeah.
Yeah, singers will do that too.
Yeah, Doug and I go back. I'm trying to remember. Do you remember the first time you played at Steamers? It must have been mid-90 or like 96, 97.
When did it open?
94.
94.
It was right then. I mean, I believe I heard about a new club, and then a couple weeks later, somebody asked me to play there. And I
you weren't with Rob Mullins. You weren't with Rob Mullins, were you?
Yeah, I probably was. I was with Rob then.
Yeah, my gosh, that goes way back. And I, Doug, me being a sax player or a wannabe sax player, at one point I was always fascinated with his first of all, his fervor for the instrument, and just you always got there early, you always set up and had everything ready, and you were just like, I thought you were a sax god. I still think you're kind of a sax god. You know?
Oh, thanks. That's sweet of you to say.
Yeah. It's.
I'll never forget. One time I was playing there with Jennifer Lydham, or John at the time.
John at the time, right?
And me. It was me and Pete Chrisley.
Uh-huh.
And we took a break, and you were on the phone, and Pete and I are standing right next to each other. And you go, man, you got to come by and hear this. Doug is cutting Pete.
Oh no!
And Pete looked at me and said, well, you do say. I looked like I was kind of embarrassed because Pete overheard you say that.
Oh my God!
He looked at me, and after that, he's like, "Well, no, he's right, man. You sound great." Pete was really cool about it. It sounded great. The next set, he carved me in little pieces, like you would not believe. Like it was like it was as if it was his last breath. Like to the death.
Those old days at Steamers were crazy because, I played sax for probably out of high school for about 8 years or so, playing in different bands and in college and all that stuff. But I just never got to that level to be a pro. So, I mean, when I finally opened Steamers, I was just in awe to have people like you there, or Herb Geller or Bud Shank, or all the people that played, and I just remember every time that would come, I was so excited. I'd call all my friends, say, you got to come down and hear this guy. I think I told the story to, I don't know who I was telling the story to, but I forgot it now. So we'll tell it another time. It had to do with, what is his name? Teddy. What is the
Teddy Edwards
player's name? Teddy Edwards always plays like Jackie McLean always plays sharp. Teddy Edwards is always a little flat, and he came in and he put. And I always thought, this guy's great, but here's a little different. And he came in and we were all sitting around. And the first song he played, man, it was like pitch perfect. And I'm looking at my friends, going, "What the hell? It must have been me." And then he pulled out his mouthpiece after the second song because he hears it different, Yeah. Well.
Doug, what have you been up to? What's been keeping you busy, aside from just coming back from Mexico?
I just did a movie for Stanley Clark, and I did a Hallmark movie, and I did a couple things here and from the house, and I actually got the guy a great sax player just moved in downstairs. I have an apartment down there named Brandon Wilkins. He was from New York, and he was my student like years ago, and he went to Berkeley 4 years in New York for 4 years, and he just came back. He moved here March 1st to break into the LA studio scene. And he wanted to be, and just, to check it out. So needless to say, he hasn't had a whole lot of success. But he's got a home studio, so he just pulls up a little laptop upstairs and records me. So I'm doing a thing for LAD where I'm playing 23 instruments along with a complete sarrusophone, sopranino, sax, and octavin, all these weird woodwinds. And he wrote something just for me to do, like to showcase all these different woodwinds. I'm even going to play a consort of crumb horns and full like 9 sarrusophones. I have them.
Okay, so that's another thing about you, Doug. You already had this amazing reputation as a musician, but now everybody kind of knows you as that crazy sax collector guy. Tell us a little bit.
Yeah, I'm trying to get rid of a bunch of stuff. Recently, I agreed to sell a sax to somebody, and I mean, it was like a mint 146,000 Mark VI alto. For $9,000. It's a lot of money for an alto. So the guy comes over, and I start looking for the horn, and he's helping me. And I'm wearing a mask and trying to. Finally, I said, "Oh, fuck it, you don't have COVID." Anyway, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said swore in the air, but anyway, I said, "Screw it." How's that? And anyway, we're looking for this horn. I'm opening every alto case. 6 hours later, we never found it. I said, "Man, I'm going to have to come back tomorrow." So
you have that many horns?
Yes.
Yeah.
He'd bring 10 to steamers.
9 hours. I went through every alto case. I thought I never found it. I called Steve. Something must have happened to the horn. Maybe somebody, I lent it to somebody. I called Steve Rosenblum, a friend of mine who had one about the same vintage, and he sold it to the guy. And then the next day, I put everything back. My wife's out of town, so I got to get everything. I have everything in a room, and it's stacked floor to ceiling, and you can't, to get to the back, you have to take everything out in the front out.
Wow.
Anyway, altogether, it took me like 2 days, about 10 hours. It took me 20 hours to put everything back. This is like sweating. I'm sweating nonstop. So I realized that I found the horn eventually. It was one of the first ones I pulled out, but I changed the case. So it was a case instead of the original black case that I remembered it being in. So I just put it stuck it in the laundry basket, and I'm pulling horns out of the room, checking out every alto case. Anyway, so I mean, we're talking a lot of hours. I mean, it was 20 hours to put everything back, and plus about, about 16 hours taking everything. That's 36 hours of my day to try to,
And you lost out on the 9,000
on this horn. So I said, that's it. And I'm just in the process of getting rid of a lot of stuff. I mean, I have over 1,000 woodwinds.
Wow.
Yep.
Cool.
It's really a problem.
And let me ask this: what was the thing that, like, I understand collecting a few things. I have a few little collections, but what got you to that place of you're buying that many horns? Because obviously you can't play them all, right?
Sure. Of course I can. It's just that it all started when like for the weird instruments, like I did this movie Gran Torino, where I played some ethnic woodwinds, and then I got the special payments check on that. In the one movie, it was ridiculous. I mean, I'll just say it was more than $30,000 for the first year for just this one session for this one movie. And I thought, okay, well, that's it. So I went and made it a mission, and eBay had kind of just started. I made it a mission to buy every ethnic woodwind from every part of the world. I have these curved flutes from Madagascar, and they're no different than anything else. But I mean, I have these instruments from every little portion of the world. They make these Norwegian flutes that are like overtone flutes that just play high overtones. I mean, I bought these Iranian nays that you have to file a place between the feet. I can't even get a sound on them, but I have a full set of them. And it's the only instrument I've never even been able to get a sound on. But there's like Persian nays and Iranian nays and Turkish nays, and they're all a little different. And and Egyptian nays. I mean, and so I would get a complete set of everything there was, and like all these, stuff like far, Middle East instruments and the Chinese provinces, and like, I mean, I have these. I would just got everything I could and the best possible instruments that I could find. I went to, and there's a guy in New York that's kind of like that, and he helped me get like some Terragatos that I didn't have. It's hard to get the larger size of Terragatos.
Oh, it's been hard for me to find Terragatos too.
Yeah, you never know. A Terragato is like a wooden soprano sax, more or less.
Of all those,
I'll be right back.
Of all of those instruments that you have, do you have one of them out and available, maybe to do a song or so?
No,
Maybe a
I just have a
saxophone?
tenor. I have
You got-
tenor sax.
Hold on. I need to ask you if you know what this is.
Yes.
Peace pipe.
No, I've had it for a long time, and I don't know what the first thing about what I'm supposed to do with it.
Yeah,
I get busy making that sound.
it's from Thailand. It's called a harmonica. They just call them harmonicas. And
Really?
it's a Thai harmonica. That one has a gourd on it. It's they make a Chinese one that's actually wood without a gourd too.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, that's where I got it. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Very
So
cool.
you want to play a song?
You want me to play a song?
Please.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Right on, man.
There you
So-
go. I didn't play the head out. I figure you already heard it.
And actually,
That was
here
a
again,
four.
I think we have it queued up from you and me playing that at Steamers for later too.
Okay, good. There you go. I know I used to play it with you. That's why I picked that tune.
Hey,
I
you're
was going to do Flugel Oogle Boogle Boy, but I can't quite remember it. In fact, I was going to text you and ask you for a lead sheet.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, Doug played a couple tunes on a record I did. It's been 10 years now, but a couple of big band tracks that we did.
Yeah.
And in fact, Terence, you'll appreciate this, but during that session, and Doug, I should have thought to print this out, but we were talking about blues changes, and I was asking you about some of the chord substitutions that I heard you doing as you were soloing, and then you just started talking about all these different chord alterations you go through, and I ended up writing it all down, and later it took up like 3 pages full of notes just from you talking. Just from you
Really?
talking. Yeah, I'll have to send it to you.
Cool.
Great.
That-
Tell us about your new album.
Yeah, it just came out.
The new one is actually I recorded it in 2018, just on a day when Brian Charette, a good friend of mine, B3 organ player from New York, was here, and we had some off time, and then we got a call from a singer to go in and do a record. And I said, hey man, maybe this guy will pay enough that we can. I'll book the studio a little longer. We'll just record some trio stuff. And we'd been playing with a drummer friend of his, Andy Sinisi. So we just recorded, and happened to call Mark Free, and they'd never recorded anything in LA. There's kind of a New York label, but I just said, hey, I'm here with. But he knew both Mark and Andy from New York, and of course I would go to New York and record the other records I've done for Positone. Well, I just said, hey man, we're going to record. You want it? And he goes, yeah. So he showed up, and we recorded it. And then he was going to, and I go, let me pay the engineer, because if you pay the engineer, then he'll charge you more. So I paid it. So I kind of owned it, and he hadn't paid anything yet for it. So I kind of just let it sit there, and I didn't think it was that good. And then I had some other record that was going to release, and finally I listened to it again. I said, man, this isn't that bad. And I mean, I shouldn't say that, but I never like anything I do until a few years later. I can look at it a little differently. If it's right after you record it, you're so critical of everything you're doing, because you realize, you remember what you were thinking, and you kind of hear everything that you went for that you didn't get. And if it's in the future, if it's in the past, you think, well, it's a moment of your life, and so somehow you can kind of enjoy that moment. And now listening to that record, I really kind of like it, and I especially like this little head I wrote on Indiana, where I wrote a tune. I called it for Steve, because my dad's from Indiana. My dad's name is Steve, and it's funny. Some critic already put it wrote that I had written it for Steve Grossman without asking me or anything, who just passed away. And made it like an homage about how I'm very similar to Steve.
That's fun.
God, I mean, isn't it funny how critics just think they know things that have nothing to do with anything? I remember reading a book where it said Train wrote Wise One for Naima, and Art Davis told me that he wrote it for Dolphy when Dolphy died. So I mean, I think Art would know. He was playing with Train back then. It's just so funny, like people, I don't know, they hear things and they don't really check on their sources, I think.
I'm just going to put this out there that someday, and I've said this a lot over the years to other people, but never to you, but someday it's my dream to produce an album that features you and Ron Stout together. I just want to hear.
You have told me that, and I'm waiting.
I've told you that
phone pretty much every day for since you said it 5 years ago.
I want to make that happen. Two of my favorite.
If I'm not home, I make sure I have somebody answering my phone in case you call.
We were going to do it a couple weeks ago, but you were in Mexico.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
Well, I'm here now.
Matter of fact, he called, but nobody picked up.
I had to have Terence play the sax parts.
That's right.
Yeah, there you go.
Would you play another?
I'm the guy that had that old alto. I took it and brought it back.
You don't want me to play anymore.
I do. Play another tune.
Okay.
By the way, what's the name of your Christmas album? That's an album I love every year.
It's
so people can find it.
Home for Christmas.
Home for Christmas. Yeah, that's a beautiful one.
And there's 4 of the cuts were orchestrated,
right,
and recorded with like 24 string players, and it's
gorgeous.
And the rest of it was just a quartet, kind of to fill the rest of the stuff. We were going to do more orchestra dates, and then it just got too expensive.
Right.
But it was really great to work. Man, it's hard to get string players to play in tune. You had to yell at them. And these are guys that played in the LA Phil, and they're just not used to playing hard stuff. I mean, they really aren't. I mean, it's like when you're listening to them and there's a studio, you go, you're flat, you're sharp, you're flat, you're flat, you're flat. Okay, one more time. That blows 4 bars. Okay, can't you hear that? It's like, it's funny, and these are good string players. I guess the more out of tune they are, the more lush the string sounds, especially for TV. Anyway, it was really frustrating. It was really hard work. And if I never do another thing with a full string section, it's okay. Because it was just a lot of work.
Okay, so everybody scratch that. Don't get that record.
That's right. Whoa.
Beautiful, man.
Thanks.
Doug, we have to go.
Intonation problems
That's it?
there. Yeah, why don't you? I think we're going out with what, Tony?
It's another little thing from us at Steamers. It's just made sense that I've got you and Terence and me all here.
Great.
We do this. So this is actually.
How do I tune into this? If I can switch you off here.
Just go to if you go to
switch off and just
on
go to
Facebook.
Go to Facebook.
You'll be able to follow it there. But thanks for being with us.
And Doug,
good to see
Yes,
you.
sir.
We got to bring you, Ron, to Steamers. How's that?
Or me and Tony. I mean,
Tony, yeah.
here.
Not if we can get Ron.
It's different. You know, I mean, I like Tony as well as I like any trumpet player I ever played with. He's got a sense of. It's like playing with something like a Chet Baker. I mean, he just plays prettier than other guys.
Yeah.
That's
And
right.
Yes.
I mean, Ron is one of the finest musicians. I mean, he might be the best jazz player in Los Angeles on any instrument.
That's
he's
how
so
I-
advanced and he's so great. But you know, but somehow playing with Tony is always really enjoyable for me. And
That's
he's
really nice.
he plays the same thing everybody else
Yeah,
plays, only it sounds prettier.
That's
You know,
really-
but the
really
thing about Ron is so loud and
hey,
obnoxious,
Terence,
though,
Terence, we're talking
No,
about
he's a sweetheart.
Let's not interrupt.
I know
We're
he is.
talking about me.
Yeah. Ron is one of the
Ron
finest
is
musicians I know, and it's
such a
you know
lovely
what? It's not a
human being.
competition. It's kind of a love thing.
No,
and
no.
Ron loves Tony, and as much as Tony respects Ron has a great admiration for Tony. I know that.
That's very nice.
Okay, wait. All
right, my
I'm looking
friend.
for Facebook.
All right. We'll talk to you
Facebook.
soon, Doug.
Wait. Okay,
We'll
Tony.
talk to-
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Look at that.
It's not a competition. It's kind of a love thing.
There you go. All right.
Yeah, there we
All right,
go.
man. We'll
Okay,
talk to you
it's like
soon,
that
Doug.
feedback now,
Thank
probably.
you.
Okay, well,
Love you.
You're done. Just Well, doesn't get much better than Doug Webb, right?
I know. You know, he's kind of quiet, a little bit shy.
Okay,
no, man,
I knew he had a lot of horns. I had no idea it had gotten that crazy. That's insane. 1,000 horns. Yeah. I can't even
you know, at Steamers, each and every time he would play at Steamers, he would come up and show me 6 or 7 different instruments. I'm going, what is that? You know, and he would play it. It's like, yeah, he's a nut. And but he's probably one of the most purest saxophonists I've ever experienced, and I really love him. Anyway, we got to get something together with him at Campus JAX now. So want to let you know what we got coming here, upcoming at Campus JAX, Steamers Jazz at JAX. This Thursday, this guy, Tony Guerrero, that's you, right?
Yeah, it is, yes. Although there's a good story about another Tony Guerrero trumpet player we'll have to get into someday.
Trumpet player? Isn't there a race car driver named Tony Guerrero too?
There's a lot of Tony Guerreros. In fact, one day, years ago, I put up a post of my favorite other Tony Guerreros. But there is one in particular that's a trumpet player that was well known, and I have.
But how many Miguel Antonio Guerreros are there?
That's where I'm different than the others.
Okay, all right. Well, you're different than other ways, but anyway, upcoming this Thursday, you're going to be there with your group featuring the wonderful vocalist Leah Booth. Yeah. And upcoming on the 8th, Chris Williams is coming back with his sextet, On the 15th, Tim Gill will be there. And then on Friday the 16th, another Friday night Steamers Jazz at Campus JAX with Krista Lewis, a special Friday night thing there. And then on the Sunday, 2 days later, we have our Afterglow with Paris Chanson. And they're coming back with their sold out show from before with the Gypsy Band show. Okay. And I forgot what I just got a text saying that God is shining down on me right now. Anyway, all those seats you can get by going to Campus.
He wants you to build an ark.
Yes, he did. 2 Terence Loves, 2 Tony Guerreros, right?
Right.
So anyway, steamersjax.com, you can purchase tickets, or you can campusjax.com, you can purchase the tickets there. That we have seats available for singles, couples, large groups, whatever, but make sure you get them. They will sell out very quickly. So go there. Also, we have a little tip jar if you want to help us out with this. Is our 28th week straight, Tony. 28 Sundays, you and I.
It's crazy.
Busting each other's chops just to do this, to bring this wonderful music and bring these people, and let our audience see a little of the insight of what's going on with these great musicians when they're at home and what makes them tick and all that stuff. And so go to steamersjax.com and put a little something in the tip jar. Do you know what's coming up?
We're about to introduce Natalie Mendoza, and I think to do that, we're going to run a little video to properly introduce her so that you and I don't mess anything up live.
That's right.
Then we'll bring her on and talk to her.
We've done that.
Yeah.
Roll the video.
Now, when you say we.
LA-bred and based musician Natalie Mendoza is an award-winning vocalist and songwriter. She is well-versed in performing many vocal genres, including pop, R&B, blues, jazz, Motown, and classical. With a broad range of vocal styling, Natalie is the lead vocalist in several groups, including the acoustic Americana, the Frogtown Serenaders, and the 30s jazz vocal trio, the San Andreas Sisters. She can be found performing tirelessly at venues throughout Southern California, such as the Mint, Vitello's, the Sky Room, the Beverly Hills Peninsula Hotel, Le Petit Fort, and many more. She has also performed extensively in shows, jazz festivals, and private events. Natalie is an esteemed educator as both a private and voice instructor and an elementary music school teacher. She graduated from the Bob Cole Conservative of Music at Cal State University of Long Beach, studying jazz under Christine Guter and John Prue. Steamers Jazz at Campus JAX is proud to present Natalie Hannah Mendoza.
We're live. Hello, Natalie.
Hello.
Hello, Natalie.
Tony and Terence.
How are you?
Hey. And I have to admit that I've not gotten a chance till right now to meet Natalie, and I'm looking forward to it because a little birdie told me that you're going to have a friend there, an old friend from Steamers that's going to be accompanying you today, and so I'm real excited about that.
The best. He's the best. Yeah, I can't
So,
wait with him.
Natalie and I've only worked together once. This was last year at the Festival of Arts, and I had her on a night there, but I had been hearing about her for at least a year before that or longer. So I knew that I wanted to work with her, and she certainly didn't disappoint. She was fantastic. And all the stuff I've watched you over the last couple of years on social media and the stuff you've posted, and you just have such a great sense of style and musicality. And it's just really a fan of what you're doing and appreciate all that. And she was a trooper that night because our pianist, who is no slouch, kind of played her intro in the wrong key, and she just like sailed through it.
Oh my gosh, I totally
Remember that?
forgot about that.
Bill Cantos. I'm just going to say his name. He messed up in front of everybody. Bill Cantos messed up.
It was like the most. I think it just must have happened just the right way because it didn't feel.
He did it on purpose.
He plays it and it feels right. So
Yeah.
But no,
Well,
that was such a wonderful evening.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll get to do more. But tell us how. I mean, we've been watching on social media, and you're staying active, and you're putting out content, which is great. But tell us how all this is going for you right now, the last 6 or so months.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, it's kind of everything stopped. That was my, I was full-time freelance, so it's tough. Obviously, I miss seeing all of my friends and colleagues that are playing. But luckily, there are some people that I've been able to continue to make music with, and it's really wonderful to see how many people are being creative with their time at home and putting out all this content that I'm like, oh, it just feels, it makes me want to play again with everybody, but also makes me realize I got to put more content out there because we're moving into a virtual age kind of, for at least for a little bit. And you guys are doing such a great job. I've been really enjoying all of the live streams, and you guys have killer players every time. It's so fun to watch.
It's been fun. I feel very grateful to be a part of all of this happening. And
yeah, me too. And one of the nice things about it also, in addition to, a lot of it, Tony and I go way, way back with a lot of these players, but we're also being introduced to new people. As much as I've been around, as much as Tony's been around,
and he's
he's not met a lot of the people that I have, and the same here, and also just like to be introduced to that. And that's what's it's just so great to see that, like you were saying, that all this content's coming out where the world seems to be stopping, yet the artists seem to be blossoming, and that maybe not financially, but certainly artistically.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Well, we're definitely trying to find ways to stay creative and connected to other musicians and to the fan base out there and all of that. So
if you don't mind, would you, because maybe I'm less familiar with you than Tony, would you kind of tell us like where you come from, how you got into this, particular scene, and what is Luca Pino doing next to you?
Drinking beer. He's drinking beer. Yeah. I'm from LA. I was born in LA, and I grew up in Santa Clarita. And I ended up going to Cal State Long Beach I was a jazz studies major. I met Leah there. I sang with Leah Booth, who, she's coming on Thursday. You said she's, one of your regulars. She's fantastic. Yeah. Love her. And I met a lot of people kind of at school or outside of school, going to gigs and stuff. And that's where I met people like Jason Favis and Shane Sabala, and through them, other people like Tim Gill, Dave Stuckey, Garrett Price, Luca Pino. And kind of, I just started while I was in school, and then right after I graduated, I just started taking whatever I could. I went to everyone's gigs and just fell in love with the grind of it all and meeting people to just make new music every time I played. It felt just so. Yeah, that's kind of how I started. Just the old
and I gotta say, and Terence, I don't know if you can confirm this with me, but I know when I came out, I'm a bit older than you, not nearly as old as Terence, but I'm a bit older than you. And when I first started out on the scene out of high school, I was mostly connecting with older players, like guys at the time, guys who were in their 40s, 50s, 60s, who were kind of taking me under their wing, and not a lot of younger players were really playing a lot of jazz. But boy, you and Leah and all the people you just mentioned, like there seems to be a huge wealth of, I'm going to just kind of guess, most of these musicians are in their 20s who are just playing great music, and it's exciting to see. I'm a little jealous. I wish it was around like that when I was that age, but it's so great. There's so many, like you mentioned, Jason and Tim Gill, and it's just so great. And I don't know. I don't know why I'm saying all that other than I'm just jealous.
No,
Well,
I agree with you. I mean, sometimes people are like, yo, you wish you were born at a different time, you know, because the kind of music you play and the eras. And I realized that all of my, you know, the peers, the people around me that are close to my same age that I started playing with are all doing it. And just every time I play with like Luca or I hear Leah, every time they're better. And they were already, you know, fantastic. So,
but not just like putting on the costume of being a jazz musician, but playing it really authentically. Like Jason,
Right.
somebody I don't know very well, I've just, you know, been around him a few times, but he plays this older style of jazz so authentically and so real. And you and you know, Leah and all these other people are just doing this real traditional music in a real authentic way. It's just exciting, and you know, and I'll be dead before all of you, but.
But I could tell you from my perspective, Tony, you know, I kind of thought the same thing too, but I was kind of in maybe a more controlled environment because opening Steamers, I had, you know, Cal State Fullerton College, and Long Beach,
Right.
all of those jazz programs coming into Steamers, and I did all of the jazz bands there. I did the Saturday. The bands. I used to bring all the college bands every semester, like 6, 7 times. So I was watching all these great players come up, and I thought, you know, was it Jamie Aebersold or what? When I was in school, there were people on that level. They didn't even call it. They called it stage band. They didn't call it jazz band. It was called stage band. And I'm like, what? You know, and so I've been blessed to see this and grow with it. So I'm not surprised at all, but I'm continually amazed at it. And I think it's great. You know?
Yeah, all that to say, I count you among those who is just doing this music a real service in how you present it and perform it. And yeah, it's beautiful.
Thank you so much. That is such a big compliment.
And you know, I just realized, I don't know that I know whether or not you have your own project out or not.
Kind of, not quite totally. Like, I don't have a band. Just
I mean, like an album, like.
Oh, no.
No.
Working
Okay.
on it.
All right.
Like everyone, right? I wish.
Right.
I'm on Jason's album, his Famous Trio or Famous Four album, and I've recorded with been you know, privileged to record with some people, but no, I want to make an album so bad.
Yeah.
It'll happen. It'll happen for sure. So speaking of that, I know you got this great guy right next to you. I can't see him. Is he in the screen here?
He's coming.
Where is he? Is he hiding in the back drinking? Oh, there he is. Luca Pino.
Hey.
Now, Luca used to play with his band Hedgehog Swing for probably the last 2 or 3 years at Steamers, like once a month almost. As a matter of fact, I think you were there maybe the week before, maybe even the last week when I closed.
I think
you know,
we were second to last performance at Steamers.
That's right. We closed on a Thursday. You were there on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, man. No, like it turned out to be twice a month actually for like a little bit.
Yeah.
It was one of our favorite gigs, and I have to thank you so much. Like playing in my formative years of like learning this music basically with my friends who are like the same age as me. Getting to perform in front of an audience at Steamers, it was a cool vibe because everyone who came to Steamers came to listen to the music.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
Like
that was a big deal.
20s, like, and we don't really get that audience that often.
Yeah, that was a very hard thing when Steamers closed, was losing a venue that the audience they were there specifically for the music. You know, it certainly wasn't for the host.
Well, Luca, you're gonna have to come down. You're gonna have to come down to Campus JAX because for the last year I've been doing Steamers Jazz there, and they have really committed to doing this program. We're up to it. Started out at once a month. Now we're like 3 times a week there. So you know, and
that's cool.
We got to bring one of your bands or with Natalie or however you want to do it. I don't know what it is, but there's room for you there.
Quartet. You got to have his quartet.
I have a new band.
They're fantastic.
Perfect.
Oh my God.
It's called
you got to hear this guy. So let's hear a song, okay?
Oh, okay.
Should we like scoot this back?
I'm going to scoot you back a little bit.
Okay.
I have to say also, before I started talking, before we kind of started the interview, Luca goes, is that Terence? Is that Terence? Is that voice Terence? And I go, yeah. And he's like, I know him. Okay, what are we doing?
Okay, how's this? Can you see?
Can you see us?
Looks great. Yeah.
Okay.
Want to play?
We're going to start off with, I'm going to do the fast one and the slow one.
Let's do nature.
Okay, we're going to do Nature Boy. There was a boy, a very strange, enchanting boy, and though he traveled very far, over land and sea, a little shy and sad of heart, but very wise was he. Ooh, and then one day, one magic day, he came my way. And while he spoke of many things, fools and kings, this is what he said. The greatest thing you will ever is just to love and be loved in return. Oh, and then one day, one magic day, he came my way. And while he spoke of many things, fools and kings, this is what he said. The greatest thing you will ever do is just to love and be loved in return. In return.
Cool.
Oh
Beautiful.
my God, that was
Be the
beautiful.
best
That was
ever.
great.
Well, you
Any
know,
mistakes I do.
Do it.
what a lovely voice you have. Wow,
Thank you.
effortless.
Thank
I mean, Luca's fingers never stop running anyway, so I know.
It's like your mouth, Terence.
you.
Nailed it. Yeah,
This
you're
is
on it.
funny.
You're on
You're on it.
You are on it. What's next?
I don't know.
So-
I'm waiting for you.
we got another one, Tony. We got time.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
time.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, we're gonna do a quicker one. We'll do Them Their Eyes. And
I like that song.
I like that song.
Okay.
By the
I
way,
kind of want to keep them on through a couple more beers and just see what we end up with.
I know.
we're drinking this Trader Joe's Howling Gourds Pumpkin Ale.
Yeah, I know. It's Halloween.
7%. So
Nice.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Our first corporate
All right.
sponsor.
All right.
it's loud.
Yeah.
Is that what we said?
Yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I fell in love with you the first time I looked into them their eyes. You a certain little cute way of flirting within their eyes. They make me feel happy, they make me blue. No stalling, I'm falling, going in a big way for sweet little you. My heart is jumping, you sure started something within their eyes. You'd better watch them if you're wise. They sparkle, they bubble, they gonna get you in a whole lot of trouble. You're overworking and there's danger lurking in them their eyes. We
Oh, I like that.
Certain little cute way of flirting with them in their eyes. They make me feel so happy, they make me blue. No stalling, I'm falling, going in a big way for sweet little you. My heart is jumping, you sure start something with them in their eyes. You'd better watch them if you're wise. They sparkle, they bubble, they're gonna get you in a whole lot of trouble. You're overworking and there's danger lurking in them their eyes. They sparkle, they bubble, they're gonna get you in a whole lot of trouble. You're overworking and there's danger lurking in them their eyes.
Oh,
That was great.
Fantastic.
Thanks for calling me off the cliff.
That was good. That was great.
That
That was great. That was great.
wow.
That's so great, guys.
Thank you. Thanks.
Natalie, who are your primary influences?
Oh, number one's Ella.
Okay, let me stop right there because I like to hear if I can hear people's direct influences, and I just want you to know I wrote that down as I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got it right also because that entire scat was a transcription that I just love of hers.
Oh, it was. Okay, awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so Ella, I love Ella. I mean, there's so many wonderful people, but anytime somebody asks me, like, I just can't go wrong with her. I listen to everything she does. It's like gold.
Yeah.
I never get tired.
Tell me about some of the obscure singers that others might not know as much about. Like that's something I love to do. In fact, just this weekend I bought 5 new albums from obscure female jazz singers from the 50s I don't know of.
Really?
I haven't even listened to them yet.
Oh my gosh. Well,
yeah.
I'm trying to think of some more obscure ones. I can tell you that not a lot of people guess, but I listen to a lot of Doris Day, but she's not obscure.
Not obscure, but no, she doesn't get thought of a lot in those circles. Yeah, she's fantastic.
So she's one that I just love, man. There's a couple of songs, a couple of albums that I listen to. She just swings so hard, and I feel like she gets overlooked sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe that, but I'm curious, what albums did you buy that were obscure from the 50s?
While Terence is talking to you, I'll pull a couple out just to show you.
Okay, great.
You think that's a guarantee, Tony, that I'll talk? No, I would probably, if I were to say that, and I would also not say obscure, but a person that was, when I was younger, considered very big, but now people don't know her much. Julie London, you know. Yeah, she's just she was just one of my favorites, and people they knew her from the TV show Emergency or whatever. She played a nurse on it, like one of those cop shows, or like it was a paramedic show.
Wow.
Anyway, but Do you have any things going? You have a gig or anything coming up, or is it
I
still
have private gigs. I did the Grove last week, which was interesting.
Yeah.
And just here and there little things, but mostly they've been private events where it's really.
Well, I think you have a gig coming up at Campus JAX soon. We're going to work something out there. We'll make it happen. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to show you a few I bought this weekend. Ready?
Okay, show me.
Now,
I'm not done talking. I'm not done talking yet. Wait.
You're never done talking.
Okay, I'm done.
So this would not obscure doesn't mean nobody's heard of them. It's just that you don't think of them in this way. So this was an actress, Rhonda Fleming. I just got this.
Great cover.
Yeah, good cover.
This particular one, I can't really talk about much here, but Ruth Wallace, who was a novelty singer, and she had some of the most kind of dirty, raunchy songs for the 1950s. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a good
Chris Connor, not unknown, but really terrific.
Chris Connor's great.
I didn't know that Kim Novak had records. I
only
know her as an actress. I've never really thought of her as a singer. This one, Lillian Roth.
I've heard the name, but not heard it. Wow.
Yeah, I've never heard her. I got this for Matt. Let's Play Bongos.
That's great.
And then let's see, a couple others. June Christie, not at all obscure, but just one of the best.
I think. Fabulous.
And then let me see, Giselle. Look at that album cover.
Love that.
Two more.
You and me.
Come on.
And you mentioned Julie London. I just got this.
Yep.
Julie
I
London.
like that one.
I like that cover.
And then this one I didn't get this weekend, but I have an addiction to Beverly Kenny, who's as obscure as they come. But
take that name down and find out about her. She's fabulous. Beverly Kenny.
Beverly Kenny. I love those album covers. They're so
aren't they so great? Yeah. So I love that.
So we're gonna bring in. We'll figure something out.
We'll get you down to.
We'll keep in contact with you. And
you should come this Thursday night and check out the band.
Yes.
And then sit in with us too.
Yeah.
I might just have to.
Yeah.
Starts at 7.
You too, Luca.
I heard you're having.
Leah.
Oh my God, right?
Yeah.
Leah's just. She's just. She's.
I'll be looking for you two.
Okay.
I'll be looking for you two. So we're going to end with. We're going to take you out with. Let's see. What did we have?
Let me look at my script here.
My Ideal. Is that what it is?
Oh, sure.
Is the video?
I did that with Shane Savala. Yeah, we did a little.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Terence. Thank you, Tony.
What a pleasure. You're a sweetheart.
Yeah, both of you.
And thank you for bringing Luca back here.
No.
It's a pleasure. This is
Good to see you, my friend. Love you.
Yeah, man. I'll see you probably someday soon. And maybe
Right
I'll
right.
see Tony. Have we met?
We've not met yet. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell with Facebook and social media who you've actually met face to face anymore.
Right.
But I don't think we've met in person. So
But one of these days I'll come out and see a show.
please do. Yeah, please do.
Yeah.
Please do.
Great.
Well.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Long ago, my heart and mind got together and designed a wonderful girl for me. Oh, what a fantasy! Though the idol of my heart can't be ordered a la carte, I wonder if she will be always a fantasy. Will I ever find the girl in my mind, the one who is my ideal? and yet she might be just around the corner, waiting for me. Will I recognize the light in her eyes? For no other eyes reveal. Or will I pass her by and never even know that she was my Will I recognize that light in her eyes? For no other eyes reveal. Or will I pass her by and never even know that she was my
We're live.
Wow. Tony,
Hey, I don't know. 28 episodes in, and we're still kind of knocking it out of the park because those were two really great guests.
great guest.
And I was fantastic all night.
I know you were. I mean, you know, hey, that's why you're here every week. I wouldn't have it any other way. I don't know if I have any pull over that, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Anyway, wow, what a treat. She's got an incredible voice, and it was so nice to see Luca again. You know, Luca is just a fantastic player. She's hanging out with the right people, and that's good. And we got to bring her in there.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I really meant what I've thought a lot about that over the last couple of years, especially working with Leah and some of those, circle of that age group. Like, they are just killing it right now.
Yeah.
You know, so many great musicians coming out of that, that time.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we want to invite you all to our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe there because we post all of these videos, all of the live shows that we do, all of the live variety shows that we do on Sunday and our streaming Thursdays. They're there for archives. You can watch them. You can always come help us out with this by donating a little at steamersjax.com. We got a tip jar there. Helps us with the production of all this stuff. And our incredible jazz continues here at Steamers Jazz at JAX. Coming up this Thursday, Tony Guerrero Quintet featuring Leah Booth. Tickets will be available, and just a little bit later tonight, steamersjax.com. And also on the 8th, Chris Williams will be back. On the 15th, Tim Gill will be there. And we have a special Steamers Jazz at JAX Friday night special on October 16th with Crystal Lewis. And then also our Sunday night Afterglow on the 18th of October with Paris Chanson returning by popular demand with the Gypsy Jazz Show. All of those in-person dinner tickets are available at campusjax.com, and you can throw a little something in the tip jar at steamersjax.com. Tony, tell us what we're going to be leaving this wonderful night with. I think a little something having to do with Crystal.
Well, my good friend Crystal Lewis was recently quarantined in Montana so that she could see her grandchild. Believe it or not, she has a grandchild. And she had to quarantine first for 2 weeks. So she rented an Airstream out in the middle of nowhere in Montana, which is where her son lives, and stayed there for 2 weeks and decided to self-film and edit a video for a song from her Rhapsody album that we produced last year. So this is a song we co-wrote together, but the video is all her, all by her lonesome out in the middle of nowhere. And it's a really fun video. She did a great job with it. And so we're doing the it's not the premiere, she put it out, but we're doing the official JAX campus JAX premiere of this video. So we hope you enjoy it.
Tony, good to see you again. Love you, my
Good
friend.
to see you always. Talk to you soon.
See you Thursday night.
Right on.
Bye-bye.
All right, Terence is out of here. All right. All right, we'll talk soon. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.